Thanks for staying with us. So moving on now to Punch. Atiku Obi Mark launch ADC to unseat Tinubu. U.S. jails France-based Nigerian 41 months for $8 million fraud. MAN, that's Man Marketers rally for refineries privatization as $3 billion repairs falter. Rep seek emergency relief for Niger Kwara flood victims. And Nigeria must review 2025 budget to avert crisis, IMF warns. Okay, still on the ADC, I wanted to just do a few roll call for Nigerians to know some of the members of the new coalition party opposition. With Atiku Abubakar, obviously you have Peter Obi and Dati Baba Ahmed. You have Aminu Tambuwal, Lai Lumoke, Babashir Alawal, some of the other people, Rotimi Amechi, Aregbesola, Rauf Aregbesola, Malam Nasir El Rufai, General Tunde Ogbeha. Let me find a few names that are very familiar. Emeka Ikeja, Miss Loretta Onoche, we have Dele Momodu, we have Professor Oserime Osumbo, and quite a number of others. These are members of the ADC, and as I said, in the coming weeks, we will see their direction, manifesto, and plans for 2027.
Okay, I have the one. The Lagos State Police Commissioner says that the police has recovered 32 stolen exotic cars, and they have nabbed 23 cultists. The Lagos State Police Command says he recovered 32 exotic vehicles allegedly stolen from different parts of the country, including some snapped at gunpoint and transported to Lagos for resale. The Commissioner of Police, Olorun Dare Jimo, while parading the recovered vehicles before journalists at the Ikeja command, said that some of the cars were stolen from different places where they were parked around the state, while others were diverted by drivers hired by unsuspecting owners. He also mentioned that some of these vehicles, some of these vehicles are valued at hundreds of millions of naira. The suspects include rogue drivers, advanced free fraud syndicates, and cross-border smuggling gangs. The vehicles were intercepted in Lagos while being routed towards the international borders for illegal exports. He also said that, in his words, as I speak to you, Lagos remains safe and secure. No incident of armed robbery has been recorded under my watch. We are ready to act on credible intelligence and ensure all criminals are flushed out. He also declared that the state was no longer a haven for criminals, said that the command has arrested 23 suspected cultists as part of an intensified crackdown on cult-related violence. So he says that he found out that they had possessions of dangerous weapons, including fabricated arms and imitation pistols resembling Beretta and Browning headguns. So the police is still saying, if you see something, say something. They are always going to act on credible information.
Okay, so I have the House of Reps members moving for emergency relief for the Niger State and Kwara State flood victims. So the a matter of urgent public importance was motion of urgent public importance was moved by Joshua Aodugana, Honorable Joshua Aodugana of PDP Niger State, and Saba Umaru of PDP Kwara State. Both of them moved this motion of urgent emergency on the floor of the House, seeking relief for the residents of Mokwa in Niger State and parts of Edu local government area in Kwara State, who were victims of flood. According to this honorable, about 500 confirmed deaths from this flood alone, and 600 people are still missing, and some of them presumed dead. At least 200 others were injured, and over 4,000 houses were destroyed from the flood that happened on May 28 to May 20, to the early hours of May 29 rain. And they also commended the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for donating 2 billion naira through the Vice President to help relief in this. And also they commended the Governor of Niger State who donated 1 billion and other non-governmental organizations who donated. They are asking that the federal government, through NEMA, provide immediate emergency support and relief materials, including water, purification equipment to prevent disease outbreak. But if they say they donate, who receive?
What have they done with it? Okay, so
be able to account.
Yes. No, it's so that we can know who we want to ask.
The French-based Nigerian Newton Jemide, who was extradited to the United States over his involvement in an 8 million disaster fraud, has been sentenced to 3 years and 5 months imprisonment. Jemide was sentenced on Tuesday by Judge Deborah of a U.S. District Court. So what Jemide had done was that he had fraudulently obtained federal grants meant for vulnerable US citizens. Yes, so they had opened and stolen people's identities and opened a green dot account. And this was meant for the victims of the wildfires between 2016 and 2017. So they had used other people to perpetrate the crime. And then they would tell you, so they sent the money to people's different debit cards. And then they'll tell you, they'll give you the information and tell you to withdraw the money for a commission because they were trying to hide that. But unfortunately for them, they traced them, they found the perpetrators of the crime, and justice has been served.
Okay, moving on to Vanguard 2027, we talked about that already. Hunger, inflation, fueling insecurity, Methodist prelate tells Tinubu, send it to CBN. The policies have improved economy. Man to DGFG, sell Warri and Port Harcourt refineries, others now. Review 2025 budget, IMF tells federal government. Okay, which story?
I have the story that says the court threw out Mohbad's father's suit against Naira Marley and Sam Larry because the coroner inquest is still ongoing and there has been divides a lot of fractions. The Lagos State High Court sitting yesterday in Ikeja dismissed an application by Mr. Joseph Aloba, the father of late singer Ilerioluwa Aloba, popularly known as Mohbad. Aloba had sought to squash the legal advice that exonerated music label owners as Fashola, aka Naira Marley, and promoter Samson Balogun, aka Sam Larry, from any involvement in Mohbad's death. Aloba filed the application through his lead counsel, Dr. Wahab Shitu San, on behalf of the family, with the Attorney General of Lagos State and the Director of the Public Prosecutions, DPP, listed as respondents. But while dismissing the Aloba's application, Justice Taiwo Olatokun, in her judgment, held that the powers of the Attorney General of Lagos State to prosecute or not to prosecute were absolute and could not be questioned. Shitu, in his application, also sought the quash that the DPP's legal advice, citing alleged lack of fair hearing. So they've been going back and forth, and the coroner inquest is still ongoing. It's not as if they've exonerated Naira Marley and Sam Larry, but they are still, they were just, they were merely discharged according to the brief.
Okay, so I have the MAN, that's the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, the DG, Ajayi Kadiri, as well as other players in the sector, asking that the federal government hands off all 4 refineries that we have, that is government owned in the country, saying that it's been a drain on the economy. With a new $3 billion, what's it called, repair fund, management fund to upgrade or repair it. He said, no, we cannot continue to make kobo and spend nairas, or dollars repairing these refineries. And so he was quoted to have said that the government should hands off and leave it and hand it over, privatize it completely, totally. We'll follow the news.
Okay, so the Senate has commended the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, for encouraging developments in Nigerian financial and monetary landscape within the last 6 months. Speaking yesterday in Abuja during a statutory engagement with the governor of the Apex Bank, Mr. Kadoso, chairman of the Senate Committee on Banking, Insurance and Other Financial Institutions, Senator Abiru, said that the engagement became important for the promotion of transparency, adherence to statutory mandates, and effective policy communication. The committee also acknowledges the CBN's recent limited but flexible regulatory forbearance, which granted to deposit money banks as part of its support for the ongoing capitalization exercise. They said that this policy, while carefully crafted to avoid systematic risk, reflects a pragmatic approach by the bank to ease transitional burdens on financial institutions.
Okay. Who has the MAN story? I think I have that. The Manufacturers Association of Nigeria has said that the Port Harcourt, Warri, and Kaduna refineries were a drain in Nigeria's economy, calling for the federal government to sell it completely. It comes as crude refiners and marketers advise the government to sell the refineries as a scrap and use the proceeds to fund modular refineries because they've now become a burden and a liability to the government. Because many of you know that, I think this was said by the DG of MAN, that's Segun Ajayi Kadiri. Many of you know that about $3 billion have been spent in rehabilitating these on the rehabs of all these major refineries. So they're saying sell them off as scrap. Nigerian actually built modular refineries and need investment and need support. So federal government should use those proceeds to support Nigerians. And I think many agree with this sentiment. And we've been saying it for years, but are yet to see. Because they keep promising us that Port Harcourt refinery was working. As of last year or 2 years ago, they were telling us it will definitely work.
They gave us even a stipulated time. Yeah. It will work.
I don't know what's happening. It's so many things, many factors are slowing it down. We have to know a final paper, the Nigerian Tribune, PDP, APC, bigwigs take over ADC. Constitution review, reps receive 46. States 117 local governments creation bill. Supreme Court reverses judgment in Edo governorship election case. Mokwa floor 500 confirmed dead at over 600 still missing, says reps. And 47% of Northwest lacks access to financial services, says minister. Okay, which story are we taking here?
I took the 47% of Northwest lacks access of financial services. And the Minister of Women Affairs, Hajia Iman Suleiman, has said the Northwest region has the highest rate of financial exclusion, as 47% lack access to formal and informal financial services. The minister disclosed this at the launching of a 2-day Northwest Governors Meeting on Nigeria for Women Project, NFWP, Scale-Up Summit on Tuesday in Katsina. She also said, according to her, she said, data from the Enhancing Financial Innovative and Access to Financial Services in Nigeria, A2F survey in 2023 had revealed that the deeply unsettling reality solution. She also said that the gap amongst the adults limits women's ability to be able to build resilience, invest in livelihood, and escape poverty. The highlights of the severity of the exclusion and reinforce the urgency of scaling gender-responsive interventions like the NFWP. The minister also said that 32 states were involved in the NFWP SU, which demonstrated widespread political buy-in and unified vision in the inclusive national development. She also said further that the project's tax team was working with the World Bank with the view to cooperating more states and scale up the implementation at least 8 additional states by the end of July.
Okay, I think that's all we can take on Front Page Review this morning. Let's go on a very short break. When we come back, we continue with the show. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.